that was The Police with Synchronicity 2, and I'd like to introduce our special guest here, Martha Quinn.
Hi, Adam.
Hiya, how are you?
Good, thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah,
today.
it's nice to have you in. I haven't seen you for a long time.
I know, last time I saw you, you had you had a cast on. And
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't tap dancing very well, but I can do it now.
No, okay.
That's all right now.
Adam Ant is here, as promised. This is quite a surprise. I didn't expect this, just, I guess, in the area. And let me show the new album called Strip. This is Adam's new album, right here. Yeah. Do we have a shot? There it is. And we have the title track in video form. Now, this particular track was produced by Phil Collins. How did you hook up with Phil Collins?
Well, you see, I was looking for a particular drum sound that I'd heard on Phil's previous productions with Frida and his own solo stuff. And I just thought it was a very distinctive, very loud, but it didn't overpower the actual vocal. And I got a great admiration for Phil anyway, personally, as a musician. And luckily enough, we met up with him on the last tour in Buffalo. And the nice thing was that it wasn't a big heavy business thing. We sat around and had a cup of tea with him, you know, he, Marco, myself. And before the song was written, we agreed to work together. So that was a nice thing. And he'd worked in the Stockholm Polar Studios where we recorded it. And he'd had experience of that, and he'd used digital before, because the record's completely digitally made. And he's a great bloke. He's a lovely, very, very nice man. Wonderful to work with.
He seems to be the man on the music scene now. He's been out with Robert Plant. He's talk about him producing the next Pete Townsend solo album. Just about everybody.
Yeah, well, he's now fast becoming the hardest working man in showbiz.
Yeah, right.
I had him for 6 days, you know, 6 days, and I was lucky. You know, we did a lot in 6 days.
Yeah, two tracks.
2 tracks, yeah.
That and Puss in Boots.
And he played on it as well, which is fabulous.
You play bass on the album.
Yeah, I played bass on most of the albums, but this time I decided to take the credit.
Why is that? Why did you never take the credit?
Well, because before it was very much more a band thing, and I thought it was incorporated. It was, you know, a bit unfair to break it all down. It was more of a sound, and there was a mystery behind that, so it didn't really matter who played what. It was just like this record was made by. But being solo now, just Marco, myself, and there was Phil, it just seemed right. So I decided to own up. So if it's bad, it was my fault.
Now people know who to blame.
Yeah, my fault, yeah.
Has Marco Peroni is one of the last remaining bastion from the Ant days.
Yeah.
And he is working a lot with you, and has ever since you were not with the Ants. And has he ever produced for you before?
Who, Marco?
Yes.
No, Marco's a partner. We write together, and we produced the rest of the album, the other 8 tracks, together with Richard James Burgess, and we produced Friend or Foe together as well. So we worked together.
I noticed the production credit and was not sure whether or not that was the first time he had actually done producing or just writing.
No, no, on both Friend or Foe and this one we did it together.
We're going to come back if you can stay for a little bit.
Yeah, why not? Can you stay for a little bit? I mean,
yes, I can.
Haven't got to rush off on tour or something.
No, I don't have any videos to go off and make or anything like that. So if we can both stay, we're going to have more conversation with Adam Ant. So please do stay with us. And I promise I'll stay too.
You stay.
ARC Video in Canton features the latest in name brand audio,
revealing interviews with pop superstars and rare concert footage. Night Flight is.
Well, that was Bonnie Tyler with Total Eclipse of the Heart. So,
here with me is Adam Ant, as you can tell. We said to Adam, just come on in, just talk, be a VJ, because he, as everybody knows, you were one of our very first guest VJ.
Yeah, I was the first guest VJ. That's been my privilege.
And you did such a great job. I hope everybody watching saw Adam as a guest VJ, because you really did do quite well. Now, we want to find out about your videos and what else is doing with you right after this word from Seabreeze.
If you think beautiful skin is only something you're born with, get wind of new Seabreeze Moisture Lotion.
Beautiful skin can be a breeze with Seabreeze.
99.
The Hut Pizza to go. Pizza Hut Pizza to go.
With Adam Ant, if you're just joining us. Adam and I were just discussing the Strip album, the new album that Adam has just released. Now, we have the title track here in video form, but you were also telling me that Playboy and Navel to Neck were 2 of your other favorite tracks. Are we going to see those possibly in video?
May do. I've made a video for Puss in Boots already.
The other track that Phil Collins produced.
Yeah, the other track that Phil Collins produced, which is quite, which was a very elaborate production, involved lots of set making and me dressing up like a rat. I had to be a rat in it. I had to have my face transformed into a rat, and I used the gentleman that made the Elephant Man costumes for John Hurt.
Oh, you're
When
kidding.
I had my face moulded, and in the end it was crazy, except he was a sort of spiv rat, you know, sort of big suits and.
Now, you work with a guy named Mike Mansfield on your videos, but
Yeah.
you are also sort of coming into your own as far as video goes. For instance, in George Martin's book that he just released, you wrote the chapter on video music.
Yeah, I was asked to write the chapter on video music because I've been, this is the 12th video I've made. Well, Puss in Boots will make it the 12th.
Did you actually direct that video, or did you also work
I sort of co-direct. What I do is I write the script from the lyric, then I do little tiny drawings, storyboard drawings, which is basically the film in pictures, and then I get all the costumes and the cast sorted out, and then the choreography, and then I'm involved in the direction. So really it's like making a record. It's exactly the same process of going in and putting the instruments down on a record and singing and then producing. So I look at Mike Mansfield as like my co-producer in like a record.
Question for you. As somebody who conceives the videos and sees them executed out, how do you combat the problem of having a video be one that is interesting and compelling to watch with repeated viewing? Because yours are, they're always visually full of things to watch. Do you go into making a video with that in mind, saying, well, it might be boring if we do it this way, seeing it more than once?
Yeah, I always try and do things that are impossible would be relatively impossible in everyday life. And also when I'm doing the storyboard, I try and, you notice in my videos there may be 2 or 3 different themes. And there's such a lot of editing. I mean, there's 173 edit shots in Strip.
Wow.
173 shots, and in 3 days we were just working all the time. But basically, it's a few stories that make up one story.
We had heard that you might be actually working with Kim Wilde in her videos. Is that true? Is that
no, but not at this point. But a few other artists have expressed an interest in me directing for them.
Think you'll do that in the future?
The right group, and the sort of group that thought I could do something to add a bit of colour, a bit of flavour, I'd do it. But they've got to be prepared to jump through windows and leap off horses and
do the jailhouse rock.
And be silly, yeah. They basically got to do all of that.
Adam, when do you think you'll be performing live here for this Strip album?
Well, I hope to be able to announce, hopefully on MTV very soon, the Strip tour, the Strip Show 84.
The Strip Show.
Strip Show 84. And starting in January, late January, and it'll be quite a number of dates because I'd just like to say, can I just take a second of your time?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Everybody that came to see my performing and my band and everything, we had a great time. Thank you very much. Thanks for buying the records, and you're great. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next year. So I'm going to be going out in January.
And that's definite.
That is, well, I've got my legs back, you see.
Yeah, right. So as long as everything, what was it that you were doing, Goody Two-Shoes in Ohio, when the leg went out? So as long as you don't perform that in Ohio, we will be seeing Adam in January and have the announcements here on MTV.
Yeah, I hope to, I'm getting ready something a little bit special, something a bit new.
Ooh, the Strip Show, the Strip Show.
84.
Okay. Adam, thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Why don't you, one last time, play DJ for us and introduce the upcoming video?
Right. The last video that I'm going to introduce you today is by Elvis Costello, the man with the glasses, and it's called Accidents Will Happen.